How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show we're going to take a look back at the FA Cup matches over the weekend, and of course your mood will probably be dependent on whether your team won or not, so you can probably tell what kind of mood I'm in this week. We're also going to be talking about Mesut Ozil because he has urged Arsenal supporters to back Mikel Arteta as he completes his move to Fenerbahce.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right. So the first place, we're going to start the matches over the course of the weekend. And before I get into the FA Cup matches, there of course was one Premier League game over the course of the weekend. And it was Aston Villa against Newcastle. One of Aston Villa's games in hand. And it was a very, very comfortable victory for them. And Newcastle, how long are they going to continue with Steve Bruce? Because they look down and dejected, and they can very, very easily get dragged into that relegation battle. The FA Cup matches, they started, of course, on Friday with Chorley against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Big game for Chorley. Superb that they've reached this far. But Wolves, they run out 1-0 winners, and it was their only shot on target. And to tell you something, what a shot it was in the opening 10 minutes, and that was enough to see them through. And of course, they were waiting the winners of Southampton against Arsenal. We already know how that one panned out, and Arsenal lost. So our defence of the FA Cup is over for another year. And it's now going to be Wolves against Southampton in the next round. Big game this one on Saturday, and nearly one of the biggest shocks in the history of the FA Cup. Cheltenham Town against Manchester City. Now Cheltenham Town took the lead just before the hour mark, and they were holding on until 10 minutes to go. And then Manchester City just got a foothold in that final 10 minutes. And I think the experience and the fitness and everything else made the scoreline look, comfortable. But it actually wasn't. Phil Foden, making a habit of scoring goals at the moment, got the equaliser. And you know what? It's good that he's in the form he's in at the moment for Manchester City, with Kevin De Bruyne out for the next 4 or 5 weeks. So it's going to be pressure on his shoulders to perform, and at the moment he's definitely doing that. West Ham, very comfortable result for them, 4-0 winners against Doncaster Rovers. Swansea, brilliant result for them, 5-1 winners against Nottingham Forest. Sheffield United, another victory in the bank for them, 2-1 against Plymouth, although Sheffield United, they'll probably swap an FA Cup run and the results there for 3 points in the Premier League. Millwall, they got dispatched very comfortably, 3-0 at home against Bristol City. Brighton, they beat Blackpool 2-1, the Battle of the Seasides, and that's a good result for Brighton. Barnsley, they beat Norwich City 1-0, and I suppose Norwich will look at that and say, you know what, their priority is getting back into the Premier League. So the FA Cup, although it's nice, it's a distraction. Going into Sunday's games, and Brentford against Leicester, and this was a 3-1 win for Leicester. Brentford actually took the lead in this, but Leicester were able to reply within 60 seconds, and a very good win for them, to be honest with you. Fulham losing 3-0 at home to Burnley. It's a bit of a landslide when you look at that scoreline. And the one thing I took from this game was the state of Fulham's pitch. There's genuinely pitches right down in non-league in better condition than Fulham's. And it's very rare that you see a Premier League team now with a pitch so poor and so muddy. But the weather's bad, and obviously Fulham are feeling the effects of it. And one thing that I will say is that it's not a place that you would like to go and play football over the next few weeks. So in Arsenal's respect, I'm glad we've already played at Fulham. So we can't end up there and playing on that pitch. But listen, it is what it is. Fulham's priority is to stay in the Premier League. And again, a bit like Norwich in the Championship and everything else, I think Fulham will be looking at that and saying, you know what? It's one less thing to worry about. You know, we can have matches where we concentrate on the Premier League and we get to rest when needed. Simple as that. Chelsea against Luton Town. And this was a 3-1 win for Chelsea. Tammy Abrahams with a hat-trick. And Luton looked quite poor in this game, to be honest with you. Not a good performance from them. Timo Werner, it's just not happening for him. Wins a penalty before the end of the game and then misses his penalty. And that's your luck right now. It would have been the perfect afternoon for Chelsea if Werner would have actually converted that. And they could have looked at him, you know, maybe going on a bit of a run and ending this barren spell that he's in at the moment. The big, you know, game of the round was, of course, Manchester United against Liverpool. And unlike the Premier League game, this actually lived up to expectation. It was a decent game. Liverpool took the lead through Mo Salah. Mason Greenwood equalised. Brilliant pass by Marcus Rashford. Start of the second half. Manchester United go 2-1 up. And it's Rashford that scores. Then Liverpool equalise. Mo Salah. And then Manchester United get a free kick right on the edge of the box. Bruno Fernandes. Wrong foot's Alisson. And they are through. And I believe they're playing West Ham next. And you've got to look at Liverpool and the way that they're playing. And there were spells in that game where they looked more like their old self. Mo Salah in particular looked good. Firmino, I felt, had a decent game and was picking up dangerous areas in the pockets like he normally does. But everything else just doesn't seem to be working for them. And you look at the second goal for Manchester United and it was a mistake from the young centre-back of Liverpool. And I just can't believe that Liverpool have not gone out in this window and addressed that situation and bought in a new centre-back, because they clearly need one. And you're putting all this pressure on midfielders to try and do the job, or, you know, youngsters to come and fill in and whatever. And it's just not happening. And it's a lot of pressure to put on their shoulders. And when Liverpool are supposedly at the other end of the table, supposedly challenging for the big titles and trophies and everything else, then that is a big, you know, amount of pressure to put on the youngsters. And they've got Champions League coming up soon. So I'm really shocked that they haven't gone out and done anything in this window. Really shocked, because I thought they would have gone out and bought a defender. And I think it's a bit negligent on Liverpool's part to leave it the way they have. Maybe this result might spring them into action and maybe they might go and actually try and buy somebody. I don't know, but I thought they would have done it by now. They knew long time ago their injury problems in defence, and you thought they would have had somebody ready and waiting for January, but it wasn't to be. And those were the results over the course of the weekend in the FA Cup, and of course the one game in the Premier League. Last piece of news involves Mesut Ozil, and of course he has now completed his move to Fenerbahce. And yesterday there was all kinds of messages from Arsenal and Mesut Ozil bidding farewell and everything else. And Mesut Ozil has urged Arsenal supporters to get behind Mikel Arteta. The German agreed to terminate his contract with the Gunners earlier this week to bring an end to his 7.5-year stay at the Emirates. Now, I'll go through some of Mesut Ozil's actual letter, shall we say, when he said farewell to Arsenal and the fans and everything. But he says, "It feels strange to be writing this message after such a long time here in London. Since the moment I arrived, it's felt like home. I was welcomed with open arms by all Arsenal fans, staff and my teammates. And most importantly, the incredible fans. I will always be grateful for the trust placed in me by Arsene Wenger in September 2013. I've grown up as an adult in North London, a place I can always call home. I'll never forget that. Being with Arsenal for so long has meant I've experienced a big mix of ups and downs." And of course, he has played over 250 games, 44 goals and 71 assists. He says that it's time that Arsenal and I finally part ways. Together we ended the club's 9-year trophy drought and brought long-needed silverware back to the fans who deserved it. It is difficult for me to put into words the love I feel for this club and for the fans. How could I possibly describe nearly 8 years of gratitude in a single letter? Now more than ever, we must all get behind the team. This season is a tough one for every team in the Premier League, and that's why we must all back the current squad and staff no matter the results. He goes on to say about it's amazing that he's got to see some of the Hairlem boys coming through and are now successful in the first team setup. And he goes on to say that they're the future of the club, and he wishes them all the success that they can get. He goes on to say about his name being chanted around the Emirates will forever give him goosebumps. And it was a really nice message to sign off with. And despite what people might think about Mesut Ozil and how it ended and everything else, if you don't appreciate a lot that he did for the club, then are you really an Arsenal fan? Are you really, able to look at yourself without thinking, yeah, you know what, I'm a liar. Sorry, but that's what you are. If you do, just dismiss everything. It hasn't ended great. I wish things were different. I loved the guy at the club. There was a period when he was playing with Alexis Sanchez that we were just unreal, and he was unreal. But yeah, some of the stuff that I've seen from some people that are just dismissing him as being average and poor and, no technical ability and all this kind of rubbish. Shut up. Serious to God, shut up. So listen, what I will say is that the saga is now over. Mesut can get on with his career. Arsenal can get on with bringing in new players and doing what they need to do. And I wish Mesut Ozil all the best in Turkey. But yeah, listen, that is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. There's going to be some more videos out later today because, of course, we are playing Southampton tomorrow in the Premier League and we need to put in a better performance than we did in the FA Cup. That's for sure. But yeah, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.